Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm breaking down the games from Week 17 here in the NFL. I'll be previewing every game right here on my YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe to my page here to get all of my videos delivered directly to your inbox on a daily basis. In an NFC West matchup, the Arizona Cardinals will travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. The 49ers come into this game with a record of 10-4-1. The Arizona Cardinals with a record of 5-10. The 49ers still with a lot to play for. They sit at 10-4-1, right? Currently, they're in that third seed line in the NFC. They still need to win to secure the division and to get that second or possibly third or possibly second seed. They still have a chance for the 2 seed if they win, okay, and Green Bay should lose. But if Green Bay wins, that would put Green Bay at 12 wins, and the fact that San Francisco would then be 11-4-1 if they win, Green Bay would get to 2, and San Francisco would get to 3. But what San Francisco is really playing for here is that division title that they've worked so hard for. They were beaten pretty bad last week on the road in Seattle on Sunday Night Football, but a win this week secures the division. Obviously, secures a home. More importantly, a home playoff game for that wild card round. This 49ers in that game on Sunday night. Look, I don't think you can really simulate in practice how tough it is to play in that environment in Seattle. And I think that's a perfect game where maybe for that one game, Alex Smith would be more suited to be the quarterback of the 49ers. And I'm not blaming Kaepernick. I think Kaepernick is the way. Now I've come around to it that I can see why Jim Harbaugh made the change, but I think you can see in isolated games where the experience of a guy like Alex Smith would help the 49ers. But nonetheless, one thing the 49ers have showed all season is the ability to bounce back. I think pretty much any team in the NFL that walks into Seattle right now and tries to play a game is going to really have a tough time. So I don't look for that as to be a really big loss for the 49ers. I think it was one of those things where it got away from them early. The Seahawks got a couple bounces early. Things snowballed on them, and then boom, before you know it, the game's pretty much out of reach. And look, this 49ers, because of that loss last week, I think they're going to lose out on a bye in the NFC, which is obviously a coveted place to be, to get that bye, to get that first home playoff game in the divisional round. But I think still, they'll come home, they'll regroup, they'll know the importance of winning division. I look for Kaepernick to play most of, if not all of the game, to hone his skills, to get the much-needed reps that he needs. He's still a young quarterback. I look for that defense of the 49ers to absolutely feast on the Cardinals. You know, Aldon Smith was taking note of the fact that Julius Peppers had 3 sacks last week against this offensive line. So I'm sure, Aldon Smith is licking his chops to get a shot at this porous Arizona defensive line. And I think he'll be in the situation where he'll be able to rush the passer early and often, because I look for the 49ers to get out to a big lead early, for the crowd to be all juiced up, because the crowd knows, hey, we win this week, we win the division, and we have a home playoff game right back here next week. So I look for the 49ers to come out motivated from that standpoint. As far as the Cardinals go, Cardinals at 5-10. If you've watched them play in the last month and a half, you might think they're actually worse than that. But remember, they won their first 4 games here early in the season, so they've been dreadful since that point. They lost a game in late October to the 49ers, 24-3, which really started their downward spiral here. If you remember, there was talk in the beginning of the year of the NFC West being the best division in football, and a big reason for that was the improved play of St. Louis and Arizona. At the beginning of the year, a lot of attention was paid to Arizona, not much to St. Louis. But you saw here that the 49ers, the Seahawks, and St. Louis really emerged as that third team in this division, which I think surprised a lot of people. And for Arizona, their bad play starts and ends with the quarterback position. And they're not alone with this. You saw in Kansas City, it's the quarterback position. In Oakland, it's the quarterback position. All of these bad teams, a big part of their in Jacksonville, it's the quarterback situation. These really bad teams, And especially with Arizona, they have some pieces other places. They have Larry Fitzgerald. They have a solid defense at times. But when the defense is always playing on a short field and has to deal with the turnovers, and when they're on the field the whole game, you see how that quarterback position becomes even more magnified. Will Ken Whisenhunt be retained? I think he will, because Whisenhunt, I don't know how big the expectations are in Arizona, first of all, and also from the point of view that when he's had a quarterback, he's been successful with Arizona. Will they retain Kevin Kolb? Will they cut him? He hasn't really ever got a chance to get in a flow as the Cardinals quarterback. It's been kind of a curious situation. So do they give Kevin Kolb one more year? He's certainly better than what they have now. Or do they go outside the organization? Still remains to be seen. But in this game, San Francisco is favored by 16.5. I think San Francisco is going to absolutely win the game outright. I just personally have a trouble picking a team to win by more than 16.5. That's such a big number. So I'm going to take Arizona. Okay, I'm going to take Arizona plus the 16.5. And a big reason for that pick is if Green Bay is up and the 49ers know they don't have a chance at that number 2 seed, and then they see that they're well ahead in their game and they're going to wrap up the division and clinch that 3 seed. I don't know at what point maybe San Francisco starts pulling players. So that's another reason, and just how big that number is, 16.5. So I like San Francisco to win, wrap up the NFC West, be the 3 seed, and get that home playoff game in the wild card round. Okay, but I like Arizona plus 16.5 on the road here. Be sure to check out my other previews here in Week 17. And as always, guys, subscribe to my page here, and all my daily sports talk videos will be delivered right to you. Thanks again for listening, guys, and have a good night.